So here I have a small pork shoulder. You can actually go to the butcher and ask them to cut it in cubes. Or you can do it yourself, you just cut it and do your thing. You can cut it on cubes. Okay. And I'm not going to cook a lot because what I'm doing here is showing you how to prepare those pinchos using pork. So you move into a container, and this step is going to be very simple. First thing, I'm going to put a few drops of extra virgin olive oil, just a few drops. Just a few drops, not a lot. And you follow with a little cap of vinegar, and I'm using apple cider vinegar, but you can use the white one too. Now you're going to do your homemade stuff now. Instead of buying that can that have all those preservative and other stuff, you control the taste, and you do that by adding a little bit of black pepper. It looks like I'm adding a lot, but it's a little bit. See this little hole? That controls the amount. I'm going to put a little bit of fresh oregano. You can do this overnight, or you can do several minutes, 20 minutes before, because you want your meat to be at room temperature. When you take it out of the refrigerator, at least somewhere between 20 and 30 minutes. I'm going to put some turmeric. Here is 1/4 of a teaspoon. I'm going to use half of that, which is about 1/8, just a little bit. And you're going to do the same with the smoked paprika. You can use paprika. I'm going with the smoked variety. And of course, you're going to add a little bit of salt. I like to use fine salt. This one is pink Himalaya. You can use, like regular salt, iodized salt, or you can use sea salt, whatever you want. And you do this to flavor. And you use your hand. I was keeping them washed and clean, of course, and mixing it together. It's that simple. Now you're going to get some bell sweet peppers. Cut them, peel them. Don't go with the green. Go with orange, yellow, or red because they have a different sweetness, ripe. They taste good. In fact, I have a video which I'm going to put in my description, but you click on the title of this video. I'm going to put a link that explains the 4 colors of the peppers that I typically use and how their flavor compares. So you cut them, make sure you seed them. You take this out away. Wash your hands. Clean things a little bit. And you're going to notice I have some what called skewers, wooden skewers or whatever. I have it in water because I'm going to put this in the oven. You can grill this in, outside, or you can do the same in the oven. And I'm going to show you how to do it in the oven. I mean, some of you might want to enjoy something like this during the winter. You live in an apartment, whatever the reason. You don't have space for, your grill. So what you do is you grab a piece of your pork, piece of your pepper, another piece of your pork, another piece of your pepper, and pretty much if you want to just do 2 pieces, you got the drill. So you have a small pot, pan, small pan. See my hand? Small. Have the heat a couple notches above medium, maybe even medium. So you're going to start with your balsamic. And the amount is going to depend on how much you want. Then you're going to use some, let's make it medium, some soy sauce. You don't need salt because soy sauce is already has some. You're going to use about half of a teaspoon of turmeric. I'm going to smoke turmeric. Move things around a little bit. You're not going to heat this for a long time. And now it comes the part that you have to make a decision. You can use some, how you call this, honey, if you want to. But let's say you're diabetic or something, then you use a substitute for sugar. You can use sugar too, by the way. If you use sugar, go brown. You can use Truvia or any substitute. This is plant-based, it's a sweetener. Just add a little bit. Mix it up good. But if you're not diabetic, you just add a little bit, about maybe half a tablespoon of honey. You heat it up. See? And that's it. Heat it up for about a minute, maybe 2. And now you have this sauce for your pork. That's simple. So I'm going to use a cast iron griddle. I'm just going to put a little bit of oil, few drops, grab a brush it around. When you do that, you have your oven broil, high heat. The thing about pinchos in Puerto Rico, they're very popular at night when people go out, party. You know, they go outside because they're drinking. You know, you go outside. At least back in the day, I don't know if it's still happening like that in the island. Just go out and grab a couple pinchos, you know. Eat those babies. And they're delicious. And typically people use the regular barbecue sauce, but I like to make things natural. Very natural. So what you do is you put your pinchos here as your oven is getting heat up. You can do this in the grill too. And these are the appetizer type. In Puerto Rico, back in the day, it used to be the longer sticks, and you have about 4 or 5 pieces. And they're different types. You can do chicken, you can do beef. I'm doing pork today because it requires a little bit of a different type of, slightly different type of cooking. You have to make sure pork is cooked. And they're ready, so you put it in the oven. So the oven is abroad, that means it's getting direct heat. So it's perfectly simulating like if you had this cooking it in the grill. And you grab your sauce, you apply some in each one of your pinchos. And then you put this in and let it cook. Make sure that cook. By the way, you have to check this out. You know, I would say every 5 or so minutes. And apply more of this, turn it around, and continue cooking. That's simple. So see how beautiful? It's been 5 minutes. So what you're going to do, you're going to turn them around. And you're going to do the same. You know, you're going to brush them. This is very hot, by the way. This is coming out, emanating from here. It's very, very hot. You can actually pull this out. And put more of this nice looking sauce. Ooh, that smells delicious. And then you put it back in, cook it for another 5 or so minutes. You might want to repeat the process one more time, because you want to make sure these porks are cooked internally. It's very simple. It's adding the flavor, natural flavor. So you come, push them back in. And cook them for 5 minutes again. So it's about 2 more minutes before turning one more time for maybe a couple more minutes. But look how beautiful they're looking. And this stuff smells delicious. So I turn them around one more time. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a little bit more. Because I'm going to do this for another 2 minutes, maybe 1 minute. And then what you do is you put it back in for the last minute or 2. Have some bread handy. In Puerto Rico, that was a bakery by my house. It was a Cuban Spaniard bakery. The owners were from Cuba and Spain, and the bakers were from Cuba and Spain. You know, American citizens. They had the best bread. Here in Virginia, I had to deal with what I had to deal. You can use French bread, any bread. So what you do is, you have it ready, because you're going to do one more step once this stuff is ready. And I'm going to show you. It's the final touch. Just watch. That's pretty much it. I had it 5 minutes, one side, turn it around, 5 minutes, turn it back around, couple minutes, grab a piece of bread. What I do is I use some of this, put it here in the bread. Here it is, pincho. Or you can go without the bread if you have issues with carbs and things like that. It doesn't matter. Easy, huh?